Romance of Sui and Tang Dynasties Chapter 12.
So let's go straight to the scene. The Zhajiolin Inn. We need to understand, this place was already broken, wasn't it? Before Shubao even got there.
Oh, absolutely. A pressure cooker, just waiting to explode.
Mm-hmm.
The innkeeper, Sang Ki, he wasn't just an innkeeper. He was also the local
He's a
baozhan.
local security guy.
Sort of, yeah.
Oh.
Responsible for safety and order in his patch. Basically, a low-level government guy with, well, a lot of liability. And he was under intense pressure.
And that pressure came from higher up, right, from the prefect.
Exactly. Prefect Kai, the Kai Taishu. Zhang Qi had apparently just gotten 10 really painful strikes because travelers had been robbed near his inn before, packages cut open, that sort of thing.
Ouch. So the prefect didn't think Zhang Qi was innocent.
No, he strongly suspected Zhang Qi might even be in on it, colluding with the bandits. And crucially, he told Zhang Qi, "You find these robbers, or else." The burden was entirely on him.
Wow. So Zhang Qi gets back to his inn, not just tired, but he's been beaten, he's scared.
Yeah, and he's complaining about the pestilent prefect, the Wen Taishu, making him chase ghosts, catch some phantom bandit. He and his constables, they're stressed, probably terrified of more beatings.
They need an arrest. Any arrest.
Guilty or not. Just something to show the prefect. So you, listening, need to grasp this. The place wasn't neutral, it was hostile, panicked. The authorities were desperate for a scapegoat.
And right into this mess walks Qin Shubao.
Perfect timing, wasn't it? As soon as Shubao arrives, it's Zhang Qi's wife who flags him. She seems a bit sharper than her husband.
She immediately pegs him as suspicious. Of unknown origin, Lili Buming.
Right. And she points out 3 specific things that look wrong, especially in that tense atmosphere.
Okay, what were they? What were these 3 marks?
First, he's alone. If he's a military officer like he might claim, where's his escort? If he's a merchant, where are his partners? Traveling alone is fishy.
Okay, that makes sense in context. What else?
Second, how he looks. He's got brand new clothes, neat bedding, looks a bit too fresh, maybe. Like maybe he just came into some money or loot.
And the third?
The clincher, his horse. A really high-quality war horse, a Gao Tudama, not your average nag.
So the constables, already on edge, they check the horse. They see it's an outer road horse, not local.
Bingo. Suspicion confirmed in their minds, but the real fuse gets lit when Shubao starts unpacking his bedding.
Ah, the hidden fortune.
Right. He settles in, picks up his bedding roll, and notices, this is heavy, really heavy.
He opens it up and
Boom! A huge pile of silver, flattened into these square bricks like horsehoof silver, matiyin, just sitting there on the table. A fortune.
And this goes back to the gift, right? His friend Shan Jiangxin must have put it there secretly.
Almost certainly. Shan Xiongxin probably figured Shubao was too proud to accept such a massive gift, this Huzeng, if offered directly. So he hid it.
A good intention meant generously.
That goes horribly wrong. Because then comes the fatal move, the action that seals his fate. Shubao, amazed by this windfall, starts picking up the pieces, testing the weight, Dian Junbo Yang. He's basically trying to figure out how much is actually there.
Okay, wait. Before we get to what the constables think, that logic feels shaky. Does everyone always know the exact weight of their silver? Isn't that a massive leap?
It's a huge leap, but think about it from their perspective. They're desperate. They're looking for proof. Confirmation bias is running rampant here.
So they're watching through the window.
Right. It's probably dark outside. They see this guy inside, handling a pile of silver, testing its weight, and their immediate thought is, bandit. Zheng Ma. No doubt about it.
What's the specific thinking there? Why does weighing it make him guilty?
Their reasoning, flawed as it is, goes like this. A legitimate merchant or an officer with funds, they know how much money they have. They know the weight, the quantity.
Okay.
So if someone is in an inn, fiddling with silver, testing the weight like that, they must have just gotten it, illegally, by robbery.
So Shubao's surprise, his genuine assessment of this unexpected gift, is read as
the actions of a thief checking his haul before he can properly count it, the uncertainty they see is damning.
Wow, that's chilling. How circumstantial evidence plus that pressure from the prefect just solidifies into fact.
It creates the certainty they need. And remember Zhang Qi, the innkeeper, the text even says he's thinking, maybe I can grab a few pieces for myself. Kangta jikuai. Greed mixes with fear.
So they decide to set a trap.
Yep.
First, hide the horse. Cut off escape. Then they set up these soft nets, ruan bandi bang.
Which aren't like big fishing nets, right? More like tripwires.
Exactly. Low ropes or snares across the doorframe. Hard to see, easy to trip over. An invisible trap.
Zhang Qi, maybe emboldened by the greed and pushed by the fear, he goes in first.
He rushes the room. Now put yourself in Shizbao's shoes. Table full of suspicious-looking silver, aggressive guy bursts in. What do you think?
Robber. Definitely a robber. A bad person.
Not an official arresting you.
Precisely. So Shubao defends himself. He strikes Zhang Qi, and the text is brutal here.
Yeah, it mentions Zhang Qi hits the wall, dies instantly, brain matter sprays out, Nao Jiang Benchu. It's incredibly graphic.
It emphasizes the sudden, awful finality. A life just snuffed out over a misunderstanding and some silver, and the moment that happens...
For the constables, it's game over. Proof positive. Bandit resisting arrest, murdering an official.
Exactly. Shubao realizes his mistake, tries to run, but boom, he hits those tripwires, the soft nets.
And then the beating starts.
Horrific. They use grappling hooks, negu, to snag him. They beat him so hard the standard wooden clubs break.
So they switch to heavier weapons.
Iron whips, truncheons, iron rulers, anything heavy. They strip him, tie him up, he's seriously injured. The disaster's total. They have their bandit.
They have the body, they have the silver, case closed in their minds.
Which brings us to the final act of this tragedy. The complete failure of the actual justice system.
So they drag him off to Youzhou, and on the way, Shubao is trying to explain himself.
Desperately. He keeps saying, I'm Qin Qian, military escort, got sick back in August, that's why I'm delayed. The silver, it was a gift from a friend. The killing was a mistake, I thought he was a robber.
But it's falling on deaf ears.
Completely. And then they arrive in Youzhou around 3 a.m., middle of the night, and who gets the case?
The legal aid, Hu Siquan.
And the text gives us this perfect, awful detail. He's just been woken up, and he's still drunk. Fuzong Jusheng Wei Sing, his stomach still full of wine.
Oh, fantastic. Justice dispensed by a hungover magistrate at 3 a.m. What could possibly go wrong?
Right. Hu Siquan isn't interested in justice. He's interested in confirming the story the constables brought him. He doesn't investigate. He just twists everything Shubao says.
Okay, walk us through how he dismantles Shubao's defense, point by point.
Sure. First, the delay. Shubao says he arrived in August but got sick.
Hu Siquan's response.
August! Why are you still here then? Obvious. You must have set up a local bandit den, a Wojia illness. Dismissed instantly.
Okay, what about the silver itself, the core of the whole thing?
Hu Siquan literally calls it nonsense, his reasoning. Nobody just gives away that much silver. It's too generous to be believable to him.
So the sheer kindness of the gift makes it unbelievable proof of guilt.
Ironically, yes. Then the documentation. Shubao's military papers.
Shubao says he sent them back with a friend. Tu Yurenji Hui.
Hu Siquan calls that a blatant lie. Hu Shubao just dismisses it out of hand. The idea that papers might be legitimately separated from their owner, unthinkable to him.
Okay, last chance. Shubao names his friends, respected people, Wang Jiaodi, Wei Xuancheng, Shonshon to vouch for him. Character witnesses.
And what does Hu Siquan see?
Let me guess. Accomplices.
You got it. A whole list of accomplices. He demands they all be rounded up and interrogated too.
Unbelievable.
So he ignores everything Shubao says, ignores the context, points to the dead innkeeper and the pile of silver as slam dunk evidence of, like, major banditry, and bam, orders Shin Shubao thrown into prison.
And the whole judicial process probably took, what, an hour? Maybe less. Decided by a guy who was still half drunk.
Pretty much. But interestingly, it's not really about the killing itself at first. It's the military clerk, Hu Kunjun.
Yeah, Hu Kunjun raises this huge red flag. And what's fascinating, as you said, is what he focuses on.
Paperwork and money.
Precisely. Qing Zhong says he's a public servant on duty, right? But Hu Kunjun points out, wait a minute, where are your official documents? The Piwen. He's got nothing to prove his travel is legitimate.
Okay, so that makes him look shady right away.
Definitely. But then you add the other stuff. He's got a horse, weapons, and this large amount of silver.
Ah, the silver.
That's the kicker. The death of Zhang Qi is confirmed, yes, but finding this guy with no official papers and a load of cash, that just flips a switch in the court's mind.
So the wealth is actually a problem for him.
A huge problem. In this context, lacking papers plus having unexplained wealth doesn't just make you look like a dodgy official. It makes you look like a bandit, a thief. Why just a much more serious charge, I assume?
Oh, much worse. Banditry could easily mean a death sentence, potentially seen as worse than just getting into a fatal brawl. So the silver, instead of helping him, becomes the key piece of evidence against him. It justifies this full-blown investigation.
Wow. Okay, so the silver itself puts him in serious danger. He's basically cooked unless someone intervenes.
Exactly. Which is where his sworn brother, Single Shinshan Shansen, comes into the picture. He sees the situation and knows what needs to be done.
And what needs to be done involves money, I'm guessing?
A lot of money. He immediately gets together 1,000 pieces of gold. Just think about that sum. That's just to get the fix started.
1,000 gold pieces just to begin the process? Incredible.
Shan Shansen knows he can't just argue the case. He has to work the system from the inside, so he brings in his contacts.
His inside guys. Yep. 2 reliable bounty hunters. Pudao Kuai-shu, working right there in the prefix court. Tom Huan, also called Tong Peizi, and Jin Jia, or Jin Gujun.
So these are court officials, basically?
They're operatives within the court, yeah.
Yeah.
Bounty hunters, enforcers. And now, Shan Jiansen tasks them with running what's essentially a corruption checklist. They need to neutralize the threats one by one.
Okay, so what's on this checklist? Where do they start?
First up, witnesses. There's a local guy, Wang Xiao, who might have seen something or could cause trouble.
How do they handle him?
The text says he's cleared after burning incense, which is, a nice way of saying someone from the court got a hefty bribe, and Wang Xiao suddenly doesn't remember anything relevant. His testimony just appeared.
Convenient. Okay, witness handled. What's next?
Collateral opportunities, let's call them. They use the investigation itself as leverage. There's another guy, Wai Xuancheng.
What happens to him?
He gets accused, maybe falsely, of harboring bandits. And Tong and Jin basically shake him down. He gets defrauded a large chunk of silver just to make the accusation go away.
So they're not just fixing Shin Xiong's case, they're actively profiting from the situation themselves.
Oh, absolutely. The fix itself is generating revenue for the court operatives. It's a side hustle built into the main corruption.
Okay, that's efficient, I guess. But what about the core issue? The death of Zhang Qi. How do they deal with the physical evidence?
This is a really clever part, the crucial move. They don't try to bribe the judge directly. That might be too risky or too expensive.
So who do they go after?
The coroner. The Youzhou. This is surgical. They bribe him.
To do what? Lie about the findings?
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
To change the official cause of death. They get him to certify that Zhang Qi's fatal injury wasn't caused by, say, a direct blow from Qin Shong's weapon. But rather it was damage from falling onto or being hit by bricks and stones after being pushed or shoved. It frames it as accidental trauma from the environment, not intentional violence.
Wait, so they're literally altering the physical reality of the event? At least on paper, that changes everything, legally.
It's the whole ball game.
Ah.
By changing the cause of death, they downgrade the crime itself. It's no longer Gusha intentional killing.
It becomes?
Wushan's accidental injury. A much, much less serious offense. It's literally a life-saving distinction. And it was bought and paid for with Shan Jiangsen's gold via the coroner.
Incredible. Okay, so the death is now officially an accident. What about the silver that started all the trouble?
Right, they still have to neutralize that piece of evidence. Shan Jiangsen's people put forward a story. They claimed the silver wasn't stolen goods at all.
What was it then?
A legitimate gift. From Qin Jiang's wealthy and well-known friends, Li Mi and Wang Bodang. This provides a plausible explanation for why he had so much cash.
Does it work?
It does. It clears him of the really serious charge being a bandit or robber. So the fix is complete. The official verdict comes down.
And Qin Xiong is convicted only of accidental injury.
Exactly. Cleared of intentional homicide, cleared of robbery. He gets a much lighter sentence.
Hang on. What happens to that huge pile of silver, the gift from his friends? Does he get it back?
And here's the punchline. Really, the bit that shows how deep the rot goes.
Yeah.
No, he does not get the silver back.
It was his, or supposedly his friends, so where does it go?
It gets deposited into the court's treasury, the Zuku.
On what grounds?
Under the, let's be honest, pretty flimsy pretext that the court needs to hold on to it while they wait for Li Mi and Wang Bodang to show up and formally confirm that they actually gave it to him.
Which might never happen.
Exactly. And the source is very explicit about this. It calls this Gan Shi Yifei Shengwan. It means setting a precedent, basically creating a rule specifically designed to enrich the higher-ups, the superiors in the court.
Wow. So it's not just about this one case. They use the fix, the bribe, the cover story to establish a legal loophole, a mechanism.
To legitimize confiscating wealth that comes before the court under suspicious circumstances.
The court officials get rich. Qin Xiong gets a lighter sentence, but he pays for it all by forfeiting his assets anyway. That is, wow, systemic corruption defined.
Precisely. They formalize asset seizure through manipulating the legal process. He lost the silver, sure, but he kept his life.
So what is his sentence then? Not death, but...
Exile. Yi Chongjun. He's sentenced to serve in the military up north, under the Youzhou governor.
And Shan Chengsen, is he done helping now?
Not at all. He clearly sees Qin Shang as a future ally. His investment continues.
How so?
First, he arranges for those same two court operatives, Tong Peizi and Jin Guojun, the guys who helped fix the case.
Yeah.
He pays the military office so that they're assigned as the official escort to take Qin Shang north to Youzhou.
Wait, the guys who work for the court that just convicted him are now his protectors on the road?
Yep. It's a huge gesture. Protection, company, and maybe keeping an eye on him too, who knows, but it shows loyalty. And then Shen Shangson gives Qin Shang another 100 pieces of gold just for travel expenses.
He really is pouring money into this guy.
He is. And one last thing before they leave. Shan Jiangson gives Qin Qian a letter.
Another key piece of paper.
A letter of introduction. It's for when Qin Qian gets up near Youzhou, specifically to Zhuo Commandery, Shunyi Village. The contact is another local hero, a sworn brother named Zhang Gongjin.
So setting him up with contacts in his place of exile, that's smart.
Essential, really. He's going in unfamiliar territory, needs allies.
Okay, so the legal drama, the massive bribes, the corruption, that chapter closes. Qin Qiang, with his two escorts, Tong Peizi and Zhen Guojun, heads north.
They eventually arrive near Zhuo Commandery, find this place, Shunyi Village, decent-sized place, 400 or 500 households. They stop at a local restaurant for a break.
And the whole mood shifts again, right?
Completely. It's fascinating, actually. Qin Qiang just escaped this legal nightmare defined by money and status.
And walks right into
A martial arts competition that is also defined by money and status, almost immediately.
How does that unfold?
They see this big procession, like a parade. It's for some local martial arts champion. He's got this incredibly fearsome title, Tai Suye.
Tai Suye, what does that mean?
It translates to something like the Year Star God or Grand Marshal. Basically, someone terrifyingly powerful, someone you don't mess with.
And who is this Tai Suye?
Turns out, he's a guy named Shi Denai. He's a former military officer, a Zhang Jiang, now working for Master Luo up in Youzhou.
And this procession, what's it for?
He's running a Lei Tai, a public fighting ring challenge. It's been going for 3 months, apparently.
Why? What's the goal?
He's trying to secure his position as a flag officer under Master Luo. This Lei Tai is part performance, part proof of dominance.
Okay, a public challenge. But you said it was about money. Here's where it gets really interesting.
Oh, yeah. They quickly figure out this isn't just some traditional test of skill. The setup tells the story. There's a counter, weighing scales, a big money chest.
Like a shop counter at a fighting ring.
Exactly. This whole thing is explicitly called a selling bout. Mai Boda. It's a business.
A selling bout. How does that work?
Well, apparently the old way involved fighters writing out these detailed waivers, Ren Huang. You know, saying, if I die, it's my own fault.
Okay, standard procedure for dangerous stuff.
Right. But the problem was it caused massive queues and delays. Everyone wanted to sign up first. It was inefficient.
So Shi Denai came up with a different system.
A much more efficient system. Forget the paperwork. Just pay up.
Pay up to fight.
Yep. To even step onto the platform, which is huge, by the way. 9 feet high, 24 jang wide. You have to pay an entrance fee.
How much?
5 ounces of silver.
5 ounces just to get in the ring. That sounds like a lot for an ordinary person back then.
It was significant. Definitely not small change. It would have been a serious barrier for a common soldier, a laborer, or even a wandering fighter without backing.
So the fee itself acts as a filter.
Absolutely. It instantly weeds out 2 kinds of people. The poor, who simply can't afford to risk the money, and maybe more importantly, the unskilled or the unconfident.
Right, because if you're not sure you can win, you're not likely to gamble 5 ounces of silver just to get beaten up.
Exactly. It protects the champion, Shi Denai. It ensures he mostly faces opponents who are either rich enough not to care or skilled enough to think they have a real shot. It keeps his win rate high, boosts his reputation.
Okay, so there's a barrier to entry. What about the prize? Is it worth the risk?
Oh, the potential payouts are huge. Deliberately so. If you manage to land just 1 punch on Shi Denai, you win 50 ounces of silver.
50, just for a punch.
Yep, 1 kick. That gets you 100 ounces.
Wow.
And if you actually manage to throw him, get a clean fall. That's the jackpot, 150 ounces of silver.
Okay, the rewards are massive. High risk, high reward. But what if you lose and get hurt?
Tough luck. The attitude is clear. You paid your money, you took your chance. If you lose and get injured, you only have yourself to blame. The term used is yuaniming, basically blame your own fate.
So no insurance, no recourse. You pay, you fight, you win big, or you lose badly.
That's the system. And it was working brilliantly for Shi Denai. The text says he'd already raked in 1,000 pieces of gold in just 1 month from this setup.
1,000 gold pieces again. That's the same amount Shan Xiangxin used to start the legal fix.
It is. It shows you the scale of wealth involved in both crime and, well, this kind of public spectacle. The Li Tai was basically a money-making machine fueled by ambition and shielded by its entrance fee. It cemented his fame and his fortune.
So Qin Kong's escorts, Tong Peizi and Jin Guozhun, they see all this. What do they think?
Well, Tong Peizi, remembering Qin Chong's fighting skills, immediately sees an opportunity. He starts nudging Qin Kong.
Say what? Go fight him.
Yeah, basically. Look how skilled you are. You could easily throw this guy for 150 ounces. Think about it. We could use that money up in Youzhou, drive the officials, make your exile easier.
Makes sense financially. Does Qin Kong go for it?
No. He shuts it down. He's still feeling bruised by his recent experiences. He blames his bad luck Yun Tu Yanjian. He just doesn't want to step back into the limelight, especially not for violence and gambling. He refuses.
He's cautious, probably smart. What about Tong Peizi?
Tong Peizi can't resist. Remember, he's one of the famous heroes from the Luzhu court himself. He fancies his chances, or maybe just wants the thrill, the money. He decides he'll play a trick, give it a shot.
So he's gonna fight.
He is. And Kun Koyong, being the supportive friend, pays the 5 ounces of silver entrance fee for him.
Okay, so Tong Peizi steps up. What happens next?
He starts climbing the 18 steps up to this huge platform. And the crowd, thousands of people, they go absolutely wild.
Why? Because someone finally accepted the challenge.
Exactly. Apparently it was the last day of the challenge, and maybe nobody had dared fight Shi Deny for a while. So when Tong steps up, this massive, unified, excited cheer just erupts from the crowd.
It must have been deafening.
And that sound is what breaks him. Tong Peizi, who was probably already nervous, he hears this colossal roar.
And thinks it's for him, like encouraging it.
No, the opposite.
Yeah.
He completely misinterprets it. He thinks the crowd is somehow threatening him, furious at him. He gets utterly terrified. The text says he was scared until his bones were soft and his muscles weak, just paralyzed by fear.
Oh, no. So he freezes up on the steps.
He basically locks up. But he knows he can't just turn around and climb back down. He's paid the fee. Everyone is watching him. It would be incredibly humiliating.
So what does he do? Stuck between fear and shame.
He tries to bluff his way through it. He can't show the fear, so he tries to project the opposite. He forces this incredibly theatrical display of rage.
Fake rage.
Totally fake. He starts gritting his teeth, widening his eyes in fury, rolling up his sleeves and stamping his feet, trying desperately to look intimidating and fierce.
While inside, he's probably jelly.
Completely. And the funny thing is, the crowd probably just sees this and thinks, wow, look at this guy. He's really fired up. This could be a great fight. They have no idea. It's just a performance born of pure panic and the fact he couldn't get his 5 ounces back.
That's quite a scene. A hero reduced to faking fury because he's terrified by the crowd's cheering.
It really highlights the pressure and the stakes, doesn't it? Both financial and reputational.
And the reigning champ is a guy named Shi Deny. He's been untouchable. 3 months straight, nobody's beaten him.
And the text makes it clear he knows it. He's got this supreme confidence, almost arrogance. It says he stood as if no one else was present.
Yeah, just radiating, come and try me, which, basically invites trouble.
And trouble arrives. First challenger, Tong Huan.
And he doesn't just step up, he makes an entrance. He uses this light-bodied jump technique, King Shenyi Zong, and then launches into this incredibly named attack.
Oh, this is the flying immortal kicking dual feet face drop, right?
That's the one. It sounds amazing, very theatrical. He's clearly going for shock value, maybe trying to overwhelm Shi Deny with spectacle.
But Shi Deny isn't having it.
Not at all. He's all about practicality. He counters with the 10,000 enemies pushing demon stance. 1d2 more Shi. It's not flashy. It's solid, like hitting a brick wall.
So it's pure defense. Tough Tong Huan cold.
Stops him, grabs his foot, actually, then uses this quick move, the Weaver Girl shuttle, Jin Nu Chuan Suo, spins behind him, grabs his clothes.
And just tosses him.
Yep, tosses him right off the stage. And the description is brutal. He lands face first. They call it swallows mud, Yanziani.
Ouch. Face full of sand and dirt. Humiliating.
Totally. And it's public. His friend, Tong Peizi, who's watching, the text says he's full of shame. So it's not just a loss, it's a social disaster. Reputation, gone.
Okay, so that failure really raises the stakes for the next challenger.
Qin Chong watched this whole thing go down, and apparently he's not impressed. He wants justice, or maybe just a real fight.
But first, there's this little administrative hurdle.
Yeah, the money problem. The shopkeeper downstairs, who took the bets or entry fees, says the 5 taels Qin Shubao already put down are forfeit because Tong Huan lost. He needs more silver before Qin Shubao can fight.
It's almost comical, this moment of high drama and then bureaucracy.
Right. But Qin Shubao's reaction tells you everything. He doesn't argue, he doesn't haggle, he just throws down a massive silver ingot. Way more than needed. Basically says, settle it later. I've got more important things to do.
It's a power move.
Yeah.
Money is secondary. Honor, the fight, that's primary.
Exactly. And if that wasn't enough of a statement, his entrance onto the stage seals it. He doesn't bother with the ramp everyone else uses.
This is the 9-foot leap.
The 9-foot leap, leapt 9 feet high from the flat ground, fully armored, straight onto the stage.
Okay, let's just pause there. 9 feet. That's not just athletic, that's symbolic, isn't it? He's literally rising above the common way, showing effortless superiority.
It's pure psychological warfare. He's telling Shi Danai and everyone watching, I am not like the others, I am on a different level. It completely resets the dynamic before a single blow is exchanged.
So the fight starts immediately.
Instantly. And the text describes it as duan da. Short range, really intense, close quarters fighting. It's not elegant fencing, it's a brawl.
We get some technique names right. 4-level boxing, double flying kick.
Yeah, Si Ping Quan, Shuang Fei Jiao. But what really brings it alive are the metaphors.
Like the blue lion opening mouth.
Right, King Shi Zongku Lai, that's Qin Shubao, attacking with noble power. And Shi Danai responds like, hungry tiger pouncing on prey, Ihu Pushi, desperate, fierce.
Wow. So it's just pure animal intensity.
For a while, yeah. They say it's like 2 fierce tigers fighting for food, 30, maybe 40 rounds, and it's still undecided. But the crowd starts to notice something.
Shi Danai starting to fade.
Exactly. The younger spectators point out his moves are getting disorderly and confused. He's being pushed to his limit. Qin Shubao has proven he's the real deal.
But he hasn't actually won yet. He hasn't delivered that final humiliating blow like Shi Danai did to Tong Huan.
Correct. And that pause, that moment where dominance is clear but the end hasn't quite come, that's when the social stuff kicks in.
Enter the host, Zhang Ganjin.
Right. And ironically, Zhang Ganjin wasn't even watching at first. He was off somewhere else.
Where was he? Planning the victory party.
Pretty much. He was at the Spirit Palace Temple with his friend Bai Xiandao, who's a local hero type. They were setting up a banquet to celebrate Shi Danai's expected victory. Shows you how confident they were.
Until someone ruins the party.
Servants burst in, and the message they deliver is fantastic. They say, Master Shi's official star is not showing.
Wow. Not just he's losing, but his destiny, his luck, it's failing him.
It's serious. Zhang Gangjin and Bai Xiandao drop everything and race over to the Litai. They need to see what's going on. Their champion losing face is bad for them.
So Zhang Gangjin gets there. He's described as usually happy and harmonious, right? He wants to know who this incredible fighter is.
Yeah, he asks around at the base of the stage. First, he runs into Tong Peizi.
The friend of the guy who ate dirt earlier. Still covered in dust, probably still fuming.
Exactly. So Tong Peizi is rude, unhelpful, still smarting from the earlier shame.
But luckily, Qin Shubao had other companions.
Thankfully, Jin Guojin steps up. He's described as well-dressed, hasn't been fighting, and crucially, he's diplomatic. And he has the magic item.
The letter.
The letter. He explains they're traveling together and they're carrying a letter from a certain Brother Shan of Urxian village, and it's addressed specifically to Big Brother Zhang Gangjin.
The panty drops.
Instantly. Zhang Gangjin just laughs, says, that's me. The whole atmosphere shifts. The fight is still raging up on the stage, but down below, the connection has been made.
And Jin Guojun reveals the fighter's name.
Yes. Now that the link is confirmed via Brother Shan, he can say, that's Qin Shubao from Licheng in Shandong. The name, plus the letter from a trusted mutual friend. That's the password.
The fight was the proof of worthiness, but the letter is the key to the encircle.
Precisely. And Zhang Ganjin doesn't waste a second. He immediately yells up at the stage, tells Shi Danai to stop. Just stop fighting!
And what does he call Qin Shubao?
A long-known brother, even though they've literally never met. The connection through Brother Shan makes the relationship retroactive. It's like they were always meant to be allies.
Incredible. So they stop mid-fight.
They stop. Zhang Ganjin goes up. Bai Xiandao goes up. They grab the fighters, grab the companion like Tong Peizi and Jin Guojun. All 6 meet on the stage.
And they just apologize. Call it off.
Yep. They apologize for the misunderstanding. Then they turn to the crowd, who must be totally bewildered, and announce it was all just a friendly visit. Qin Shubao was just visiting, seeking worthy men, Fang Xiandaoqi. They completely rewrite the narrative on the spot.
From potential killer be killed to a friendly meet and greet.
And the actions that follow show this shift is absolute. The obligations of alliance kick in immediately.
Like the silver. What happens with that?
That's maybe the most significant part. They all go back to the temple. Zhang Gongjin orders his men to get Qin Shubao's luggage sorted, and then he personally returns those large silver ingots to Qin Shubao.
So returning the money signifies.
It signifies that the relationship is no longer transactional. Qin Shubao isn't a challenger paying an entry fee anymore. He's family. He's a brother. And you don't charge family. Honor replaces currency.
Makes sense. And then they seal it formally.
They do. The actual letter from Brother Shan explains Qin Shubao is facing some kind of trouble or difficulty up in Youzhou.
And Zhang Gongjin
Doesn't hesitate. He immediately vows to take full responsibility for sorting out whatever problem Qin Shubao has. It's an instant guarantee of support.
And that night.
That night, they perform the Ba Bai Wei Jiao, the 8-bow ceremony. They officially become sworn brothers.
Which is a huge deal, right? Not just friends. It's a lifetime pact.
Absolutely. Mutual support, loyalty, defense. It binds their fates together. Think about it. Hours earlier, they were trying to beat each other senseless. Now, they're bound for life.
And the story wraps up quickly after that.
Very. They drink together until the 5th watch, deep into the night. Zhang Gongjin then provides serious resources. 6 horses, more than 10 followers for Qin Shubao's group.
And Shi Danai, the guy Qin Shubao almost beat.
He's part of the new crew. Shi Danai has to report to his superiors, but he, along with Bai Xindao, actually escorts Qin Shubao and his friends part of the way as they all head off towards Youzhou to deal with those documents mentioned in the letter.